What is up, guys? In this video, we are going to be going over the morning rituals of millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires. And you might be surprised because a lot of these morning rituals share one common attribute. And we're going to be going over the top 3 things that you can immediately implement today to start living a better life. Stay tuned. I bet that if you named any successful person in today's day and age, they all have one thing in common, which is an empowering morning ritual. What they do is they take time each morning to actually spend on themselves to make sure that every single day that they actually go out and work and make progress on their own life and their own goals is the most powerful by putting themselves in an actual state to go out and make the biggest impact on the world. So in this video, we're going to be going over the top morning rituals of some of the most successful people on earth, and we're going to be sharing with you some of the things that you can actually start to do and implement into your own morning ritual so that you can go on and live each day the best possible way that you can. Because after I did some research on, the top morning rituals of some of the best people, some of the most successful people on earth, I implemented just a few of these things into my own life, and I know that my morning ritual has had a massive impact on my days and what I'm able to do, what I'm able to accomplish, all the different things that I'm able to handle at once. Because if you're not in the right mental state, if you wake up stressed or anxious, or you're not feeling good, right? Or you're not feeling in peak mental condition, it's not possible to actually put out the best output for your day from a progress perspective, from a work perspective, from a relationship perspective. You have to get your mentality right before you can actually be the most efficient version of yourself. So let's start off with Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is obviously one of the people who's most well known for his mental practices, how he actually gets himself into a peak state, more so than anyone else on earth. And so what Tony Robbins does every single morning is 2 things. He likes to actually prime himself. And what he describes as priming himself is getting himself into a peak mental condition. And how he does this is he spends time thinking about what he's grateful for. And when you think about what you're grateful for, it actually gets your mental focus onto the things that you're happy and appreciative and grateful for, rather than thinking about the things that you are unhappy with, right? When you focus on what you're grateful for, rather than allowing your subconscious to dictate to you what to focus on, all the things that are unfair and the things that you don't like about your life, you're either going to be happy or you're going to be sad. And so actually taking the initiative and being intentional first thing in the morning and focusing on what he's grateful for, he sets himself up for success. The second thing that Tony Robbins does is he actually has what's called a cold pool, right? And a lot of us probably can't afford a cold pool in their own house. It's literally just the size of his body, and which is pretty big because Tony Robbins is like 6'6", but it's just the size of his body, and he jumps in it first thing in the morning, every morning, to wake up his nervous system. But what I've done, since I don't personally have a cold pool that's the size of my height, is I'll just take a cold shower. I'll literally start the shower as warm to kind of wake myself up, to feel a little bit better, but then I close out the shower with 30 seconds to 1 minute of very, very ice cold water. And to start yourself off, maybe do 30 seconds, just put it over your head. But what you'll notice is you really feel refreshed. It's kind of like a deep breath. You feel very sharp and you feel mentally ready to actually take on the day. The next person I want to talk about is Barack Obama. So Barack Obama, if you don't know who he is, I don't know where you've been for the last 10 years, but Barack Obama was a recent president of the United States, and what he does in his morning ritual is exercise, right? And exercising in the morning is probably one of the top most common things that all of these people that I was researching and studying from their morning ritual perspective, exercise is one of the things that everyone does most, because exercise literally gets the endorphins and dopamine going in your brain. It makes you feel better, right? It's just like, what's called a runner's high, if you've ever heard of that. It makes you feel so good after a jog. Exercise is one of the best ways that you can relieve stress. And if you're anxious, if you're depressed, like if you're not living, the life that you want to be living, start exercising in the morning. And I know you probably won't want to go, but force yourself to go, right? Give one of your best friends, say that if I don't go to the gym and text you a picture of me at the gym at 8 a.m., I'm going to send you $100. And then a funny thing that you'll see is that you'll probably go to the gym so you don't have to pay that person $100. That's what's called an accountability partner, right? Using accountability partners to actually start to establish habits in your own life is a great way that you can start to do this. And so Barack Obama, every morning, no matter what, he'll exercise for 45 minutes to start start his day, and then he's in a prime mental condition to actually take on the rest of the day in his most efficient form. The next person is Steve Jobs, and what Steve Jobs does is he lives every day as if it's the last day that he has to be alive. And what that does is it makes you live every day to the fullest. If you actually imagine to yourself that tomorrow you're going to die or tomorrow you're going to stop existing, I promise you, if you actually believe that, you are going to live today like it's the absolute last day you have on earth. You're going to live it to the fullest. You're going to go out and talk to people. You're going to make friends. You're going to show love, right? Maybe you're going to do some of the things you've always wanted to do but have never gotten around to. So learning a lesson from Steve Jobs to treat every day as if it's your last, right? It's going to make you live so much more of your life, right? Going out and doing the things that you want to do and living a happier and more fulfilled life. Next, I want to talk about Mark Zuckerberg. So Mark Zuckerberg, if you don't know who he is, he founded Facebook. He's one of the richest people in the entire world and also one of the youngest relative to as well. And what he does every morning is he actually wears the exact same shirt. And before you think to yourself, okay, Kevin, but that's kind of weird, the reason that he does this is he eliminates what's called decision fatigue, right? Every decision that we make all day requires mental energy. And if you remove all of the unimportant decisions in your life, like what shirt to wear and what pants to wear and how to get to work and things like that, if you have these habits set and you wear the same shirt every day, you're able to spend that mental energy, right, to not get decision fatigue for things that don't matter, rather than wasting it on things like what shirt to wear with decision fatigue. The next person is Richard Branson. And Richard Branson, if you don't know, he founded a company called Virgin, right? They've gone on to make airlines and mobile, all different types of businesses. He's one of the most well-known entrepreneurs in the world, and he's known for living his full life, right? He's known for kite surfing and boating and all of these different kind of extreme sports. And the reason that I bring him up is because he likes to wake up early in the morning, which is one of the most common among all of the people who actually are on this list, waking up before 6 a.m. He says that the sun comes up and he wakes up with the sun. And he likes to do that because he's able to work before most people wake up. And waking up in the morning is one of the things that has personally changed in my life. I went from waking up at 8, 9, 10 a.m. to waking up at 6 a.m. And even though you're tired for the first day or two, what happens is you start to feel more alive. You start to feel sharp in those morning hours. And sometimes the best actual work that you get done is first thing in the morning at 6 a.m. And last but not least, Arnold Schwarzenegger, aka the Terminator, aka the Governator. And what he likes to do is wake up early like most other people, but he also likes to read in the morning and have a healthy breakfast and meditate, right? Meditation is probably the most common thing among all of the different millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires, and spiritual leaders that I actually did research on when it comes to morning routine. So Arnold likes to start his day off with a healthy breakfast. Eating healthy breakfast and actually feeling good, right? Not putting a bunch of junk and fried food and things from McDonald's in your body first thing. It allows you to have more healthy energy, more actual energy to use on your day by putting good, healthy foods in your body rather than eating processed junk. And Arnold also likes to read and meditate. And most of us probably know the benefits of reading, but how many of us actually read consistently, right? Reading is one of the best ways that you can possibly get knowledge from people who've lived entire lives, right? And then summarize all of that experience into a book. It's the simplest, fastest way to accumulate knowledge from all of these leaders and authors and people who've gone on to do incredible things in the shortest, most summarized way, but so few of us actually spend our time reading. Reading's the number one way that you can learn and grow and better yourself as a person. And then meditation is one of the most common things that all of these, ultra successful people do, because meditation allows you to center yourself, to calm yourself, and to focus on the things in your life that actually matter most. All right, guys, and to summarize, let's go through the top 5 things that most of the ultra successful people said were the best, most important parts of their morning rituals. Number 1 was gratitude first thing in the morning, so you can focus on the things you're grateful for rather than focusing on the things that are negative in your life. Number 2 was a cold shower, or some way to literally spike your nervous system, wake yourself up, and be sharp mentally first thing in the morning. Number 3 was exercising in the morning. One of the most common things that all of the different ultra successful people that I researched did, exercising in the morning allows you to really wake yourself up and be mentally sharp, from all of the endorphins that are generated and all of the, stress relieving properties of exercise. Number 4 was living today as though it's your last day on earth. This allows you to actually do the things that you might not otherwise do and live each day to the absolute absolute fullest. Number 5 was waking up early, right? Waking up when the sun comes up so that you have those ultra productive, super sharp hours first thing in the morning when most people on earth are asleep. And last but not least, guys, meditation was probably the number 1 most consistent thing on all of these ultra successful people's lists on ways to actually center yourself mentally and get yourself into a peak grateful state first thing in the morning. Because when you are at a peak mental state, what happens is you stay at that peak mental state for the rest of the day. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I want you to leave me a comment down below right now that says, what is your morning ritual? Tell me about your morning ritual that works for you, or tell me about the number 1 strategy that we talked about today that you are going to start actually implementing in your life today, right? Don't be like 99% of people that never take any action. Be the 1% that implements some of this stuff from these ultra successful people into your own life so that you can actually create a better life and the life that you want. And if you haven't already, make sure you smash that little like button, hit that little red subscribe button, turn on the notification bells so that you can be the first person to know when we release brand new content on how to live your best life and be the happiest person that you can be. And so until next time, guys, happy hustling.